Okay, well, I'm up early before it gets hot. I've had a bunch of rain and trying to get a bike ride in because I've been neglecting my cardio. With the big move, the shop being sold out from under us and stuff. So I need to, for the sake of my health, mental and otherwise, I need to get on the bike and ride. So I'm wondering, should I ride through the flood on Belding Ct that happens every time we get rain? Okay, this is Lake Belding. I'm gonna take it slow. I don't want to sling water up on my back and my bike parts. The grate over here is not obstructed. That's the drainage infrastructure at fault. Can you hear the sound of the water splashing? The empty lot over here where I videotaped some of the house being demolitioned or demolished has become a dumping ground for people. So yeah, we're coming up to Grand Traverse here. I would say a majority of people on this block have take pride in the community and the neighborhood and try to keep up their properties and whatnot. These people on the corner especially have a really nice nice yard and garden and everything. So here's Belding Ct off of Grand Traverse. They really butchered this poor tree. I'm not complaining because hopefully it will prevent some kind of disaster or downed power lines and whatnot. And it looks like there may have been an issue at some point. I just purely judging from, holy crap, purely judging from this power line, what a tangled mess. I mean, seriously, check that out. And the lines get even continue tangled the further down we go. I mean, seriously, what is this mess? These lines hanging off the edges here. These loose ends dangling down. Here, let me mount this back on my head. But seriously, this is some sloppy line work. If this is AT&T's doing, they need to get their ass down here and clean up their mess. I mean, I hope it's functional. That's my main concern, but there's more dangling splices. Check out this mess. Oh my God. Seriously, this is just, this boggles the mind. I mean, what is this? Is this standard repair work or what? I don't get it. So I'm here on Merriman at Dorsey, the back entrance to Walter Reuther, and the rains have flooded my route behind the establishment over to Palmer near Henry Ruff, so I have to figure out an alternate route. This sidewalk is a dead end, so I'm hoping that the little bit higher ground over here, that's swampy there. So I see some higher ground over here that hopefully isn't underwater. You may have to climb a little hill to get there. Or no, maybe here, let's duck through here. It doesn't look like it's very wet. And we have another lake here in the parking lot. You know, this of course was once a thriving place with Wayne County General Hospital over there that was torn down. And when this floods, you can kind of get an interesting reflection of the hospital in it. So let's see what we got here. So this is just one of the lakes here. I'm going to ride around and then ride around the psychiatric facility. There were some changes recently. There was a controversial thing happening where the Michigan's most dangerous disturbed children were placed in here for because the facility elsewhere in Michigan where they had been being housed and treated had been closed down for some reason. So they put them in here. And whistleblower came out in the news media talking about how they weren't being let out. They were being cooped up in that building with no fresh air or anything for weeks at a time. And subsequently, after that bad poor publicity, they built a big fenced-in, high-security fenced-in area, which you should be able to see in the video when I turn the corner up here. So this parking lot usually has people parked in it, but it's not usually this busy. But yeah, I've shot footage over coming through there and through the Wayne County General property, and it's not completely impassable, but it's partially impassable. And I see something in the road here that I must check out. Made in USA. Whitehall Tatum Company, #1. I think these come off of the power lines, right? Now I'm wearing my big floppy hat to block sun, so if you're seeing a little edge of something at the bottom edge of the video, my apologies. It's to keep the sun out of my eyes. So yeah, I came through from the other entrance that's fenced off over there and rode as far as I could, then walked my bike the rest of the way through. It was quite an ordeal, and I didn't have the GoPro yet, so I took still photos. But when things dry up, if they dry up with all this rain, I plan to make another journey around with the GoPro, and hopefully it won't be so overgrown that I can't make it. I'm not sure if the second half of the journey I'm going to undertake through the, you know, through the weeds and marshland over here, but I'm going to get some footage of the old Wayne County General Hospital grounds. So let's go in the entrance only. As you can see, we've got this big fenced-in area that they built after the whistleblower came through and publicized the bad conditions for those kids. I'm also willing to bet that people may not have known. People in Norwayne and Westland may not have known that some of the most troubled, dangerous children in the state of Michigan were being housed this close to where their residences are. So I'm of two minds. I'm glad that we are taking care of people with mental illness and whatnot. People with drug issues and whatnot in the group homes and everything, but why are we housing them right next door in these group homes in Norwayne, right next door to me and other tax-paying citizens? So I've kind of moved my dialogue here from the mentally ill to people with you know, drug and addiction issues, and there is an overlap for sure. A lot of people self-medicate their mental issues with drugs and get hooked. And I wish them all the best. But don't be checking out my house thinking you can break in and steal my shit to fuel your drug habit when you relapse, okay? Walter P. Reuther. In past rides I've talked about Walter P. Reuther. He's an interesting character. And I always wondered what the P stood for, and I can't remember it, but I looked it up. All right, I'm picking up at Merriman and Michigan Avenue, across from Cemetery, as I'm headed down to the Red Apple to grab lunch before I go into the shop. Got some tattoo designs to draw, some business to take care of, some packing to do. Whole list of stuff that I must accomplish. But I'm going to duck into one of these used car establishments on the way. To document a military truck that they have. The Deuce and a Half here. Which would be this thing. And it's relevant, it's not just random, because I drove these things when I was enlisted in the 25th Infantry Division, Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, in the early 80s. After not being able to afford art school. And recently, a friend, Crystal Culver, who has survived some tragic incidences in her life, has started a veterans garden series near her place, and decided to dedicate one of these little gardens to me. Now, I did let her know that I know of veterans who probably deserve a garden dedicated to them more than myself. I had relatively easy duty, although I guess it's all relative. Whenever you enlist, you agree to put your life on the line if necessary. So the worst thing that happened while I was enlisted was we invaded Grenada. So I'm categorized as a combat veteran, and since I was stationed in Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean, I'm considered I've got overseas duty. So it gives me a little bit of prestige that I don't feel like I completely earned, but hey, I'll take it. So let me park here. Looks as though part of my garden has taken some wind damage, so I'm gonna have to fix it up. So yeah, I added a couple new Polynesian effects recently to commemorate, you know, on the Hawaiian theme. As well as this one, tiki kind of stuff. This is the 25th Infantry Division Tropic Lightning insignia. And Crystal wanted to use a toilet seat with shattered porcelain, seeing as how my nickname, nom de plume, is Poophammer. So I think it's appropriate.